How's the feeling?
Well, obviously, to start with the web series, as an author, it's an author's dream to always have his story rendered on celluloid. So I'd like to thank all the actors here today, the director, the producers, for making this happen. It's a great feeling for me to see my creation on screen. But as far as the idea is concerned, I'm a thriller writer, and we always keep looking for ideas wherever we are. And a few years ago, I was trekking in Nepal in one of the remote valleys, and I saw this lonely peak. And on top of the peak, there was a kind of a boiling cloud, which looked very, very artificial to me. It was, of course, a natural phenomenon, but it looked very artificial. And it then struck me, what if it was, in fact, man-made? So I started to do some research on weather manipulation, and to my surprise, I found it's one of the big areas of research now. China leads, the US is very much there, the Russians are very strongly involved in it. It's the next big WMD, weapon of mass destruction kind of research scenario that's going on. It's not very well known, but it's happening below the radar. And I thought a thriller centered around that theme would be very interesting, and it would be a lot of fun.
All right, thank you so much. My next question is to Ms. Shabina Khan. How did you come up with producing such a wonderful show? And how has been your experience working with the entire team been so far, and your association with ZEE5?
I was called by ZEE5 to produce this show. It's not that I went to him, Mr. Arun Raman. So I think you have to ask the question to ZEE5, the ZEE5 team, why they approached me to produce this show.
But how has been your experience, been with working with such a wonderful team that you have?
Oh, it was wonderful. I love making movies. I love making web shows. And every show for me or a movie is always a great experience.
All right. Thank you so much. My next question is to Prateek. So Prateek, I'm sure all your spectators, the viewers and fans, they are going to have a real treat watching you, doing the web series. So. Yes, we saw the trailer and we are already finding it, very exciting. They're already loving it. So how was your character, specifically in the web series? Is there anything that you want to highlight about the role that you've essayed? Was there any challenge that you faced?
Yes, every character is a challenge. Every character is
Would
a
you like to speak something about your character?
Yes, so I won't give away too much because then it'll spoil the viewing of the show. So I play a journalist, an award-winning journalist, who's very righteous. He's a very righteous guy. He will go to any extent to find the truth. He will go to any extent to make sure the right thing is done. So that is why he's righteous, and he somehow is caught. So he finds himself stuck between a relationship and saving the entire nation or maybe the world, and saving his friendship. So there's a lot of things on the line. There's his own life, there's his relationship, there's his friendship with his best friend, and there is saving the nation and the world. So it's tricky how he goes about this entire story and what he does to come out a winner or a loser. I think I'm not going to say much because...
All right, no problem. We understand.
I'm not going to say much. And my name is Chandra.
We are willing to stay more curious to watch the web series very soon. Yes. So my next question is to Sonal. Hi, Sonal.
Hi.
You're looking stunning as always.
Thank you.
So firstly, we've always seen you, looking like a complete diva. And the character that we are going to, see in a very short while, that's very different. So how was your experience?
Well, it's been a fantastic experience, right from the beginning until today. We were just standing just before the trailer was launched, and we were just like, oh my God, this is really happening. So it's been great. It's been like an otherworldly experience also because of, the kind of things that we got to learn while we were shooting for Skyfire. So it's been great. The character that I've got to play here is not just, a girl who's looking pretty and, just as a decoration.
Any obstacles you faced while essaying the role?
I won't say obstacles, but I got to learn a lot. I would say that I kind of, in some ways, relate to Meenakshi Pirzada, which is my character. In some ways, I got, when I was being told about the character, when I was thinking about her, I think that it has been a bit of a growth for myself also, as, as a person, because, she's somebody who's, righteous, like Prateek's character, Chandra. She is a historian by the day, a night school teacher at night, would go to any extent to, do the right thing and stand up for the right thing. So, and yeah, like with three friends, of course, Prateek, who's playing Chandra, and Hassan, played by Jatin. And it is basically our struggle, and the entire, basically the story revolves around that, how we fight, how we discover this entire, can I call it a racket? Conspiracy. So yeah, I mean, those are the things that got me thinking also. Right from the beginning, when I learned about the show from Shabina, it intrigued me, and it only kept getting more and more intriguing. And I'm anyway a person who has a lot of conspiracy theories in my head, so it only added to that. But I enjoyed it, yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it's just thanks to all of these people who are sitting here, and of course the ZEE5 team, that we had a fantastic time.
All right.
Yeah.
My last question is to producer Ekant, before we actually start off with the... He's not here. All right. So I think we are open for the media questions. Once, if we happen to meet Ekant sir, we can ask him the question towards the end of it. Right now, we are open for the media questions.
Let me ask a question to the author. Yes, sir. When a story is adapted for the screen,
Yes.
generally they make a lot of changes. Sometimes what is originally a dhoti becomes a langoti. So in your case, what kind of changes have been made to make it suitable for the web series?
So in a word, I don't know. Because I think at some level, see, as a thriller writer, at least speaking for myself personally, you actually concentrate on the book. The idea is to get out a compelling thriller that gets the reader to turn the pages. But once it's done, I personally don't take a very proprietorial view and say ki aisa hi film banana hai, or the character should be faithful to the book. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, and I'm not a film person at all. So the people who actually take it up, and Shabina and others who understand the film world, I leave it to them to do the sort of their adaptations, and I'm perfectly happy to see a slightly different version on the screen. So I have no sort of possessiveness towards it.
Nice to have this kind of an author's point of view.
Yeah.
My next question is to Prateek. Prateek, I always admired you for different kind of roles you have been doing, whether it is negative, positive, romantic. You have tried your hand at every kind of role.
Yes, sir.
In what way is your role in Skyfire challenging or different from the kind of roles you used to do?
Sir, thank you for your kind words, firstly. Well, this character, sir, is different because I have never dabbled in the space of science fiction. I have, like you said, done negative roles, I've done positive roles, I've done supporting roles, and I will continue to do all of these if it catches my fancy. So it's this is off topic, but I'm not here to be a hero or a villain. I'm here to be an actor, and that's what I will want to do for the rest of my life. But yes, this is for this role. I have never dabbled with science fiction, so it was very, very challenging for me. Just the thought of it, that to be part of a story that is very heavy on VFX and special effects is something that I've never been a part of. So I was very excited. Yes, of course, Mr. Raman's book has been very, very successful, and it's a lovely book. You know, it's a lovely book, and I was very. I mean, but you know, when you have such lovely books or any kind of information or any script that sounds really good to you, the execution part of it is what is the most important. So you can have a great script, but then if you don't execute it, there's what's, you know, then. Yes, I am. I'm trying to get there somehow to compliment Shabina ma'am. No, yes. So, but the execution is the most important part, and that something was that I was very curious about, and I think all of us actors, well, we believed in the script, we believed in our characters, but we were very curious to know how this would kind of translate and be weaved together with all the special effects and everything. But as far as we know, things are looking good. As from the trailer looks great. You know, it looks very intense, and it's got a good pace, and the entire show has a good pace. I've never played a journalist also, so I play a journalist in this, and he's a man on a mission. You know, he's a man on a mission, and I guess just the difference is the science fiction part of it. You know, I think when you're playing a character, you give it your 100%, 200%, anyways, whatever the character may be. So my process when it came to that remained the same. It's just about a different scenario for me. Ji, sir.
Thank you, Prateek.
Thank you,
And
sir.
now one more question to our superstar, Jisshu.
I'm not a superstar. I'm just an actor. And I would love to be called as an actor.
But you have got a lot of females screaming for you in Bengal.
Yeah, including my wife and my 2 daughters. For the Bengalis, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Jisshu, the same question which I asked Prateek.
Right.
In what way do you find the medium different, the web series? And are you doing any more web series other than Skyfire?
Look, it's a personal belief that I believe that 2 years or maybe 3 years down the line, it's a matter of time. This is the medium which is going to stay. And we like it or we don't like it. Apart from the huge films which Shabina ma'am and Sanjay Leela Bansali or a Bahubali, you will only see, or Avengers will be there on screen. Apart from that, I believe that web series or the internet thing which is happening right now is the future. So I love to be a part of it. Second is I'm associated with ZEE for really long in Bengal, and then I did a film with ZEE in Hindi, and this is my third association with, technically it's my first association with ZEE5. So ZEE Bangla I was associated for the last 7-8 years, I guess. I'm been hosting a show called Saregamapa. Then I did a film for ZEE Studio, Manikarnika, and this is my, the only thing which was left, I think, ZEE5. So the web platform, so now I'm attached to this. It was great to be a part of it. I heard this story a long time back because I've done a film with the director, Shomik Sen, back in Bengal. So I heard this story and I loved the story and I wanted to be a part of it. But that by then, I think everything was done. But one fine day, there was a call from ma'am, Shabina ma'am, and I was being called. And then when I reached her office, and when I heard this story, and when I heard, I said, I know this story. And then I was been offered the role of Dharma, which I'm playing. And I loved it, because I loved the story. As Prateek said, this is my first science fiction show which I've ever done, or a content I'm being attached to. So this was definitely one of the major reasons. And last but not the least, it's ZEE at the end of the day, so I had to be a part of it.
Prateek sir, you started as a leading man in films, and now you're doing in grey, layered characters in mostly negative or
Yes.
dark roles.
Yes.
So is this shift deliberate on your part?
Yes and no. But that doesn't, that isn't easy to understand. No, yes, it's deliberate. Now it's deliberate. Earlier, when I was offered a film by Mr. Mahesh Manjrekar, which Mr. Jisshu Sengupta and Sonal are part of. So it
Actually, we
actually
are doing project all together. We have signed, we both have, basically me and Prateek have signed a contract.
Yeah, that we will
Whichever
just-
show he does or a film does, I have to be there. And whatever film or web series I do, he has to be there. So we kind of...
I'm his +1. No, but jokes apart. So Mr. Mahesh Manjrekar offered me a negative character in his film where Sonal and Jisshu are part of, and Vidyut Jamwal is the lead, the protagonist. I'm the antagonist. Listen, when someone like Mahesh Manjrekar comes with you with an offer, what do you say? You know, that's you can't say no. And we are such fans of the man that I mean, I am, to speak for myself, I'm an absolute fan of the man. I think he's one of the finest we have, you know, as a writer, director, actor, producer. So that's where it began. It was more of a, I don't want to let this opportunity go, and with Mahesh Manjrekar. So that is where I did the first negative. Was that my first negative? I think it was. I think Baghi was. Sorry, excuse me, Baghi. Baghi. Yes, so yes, they were. A few of them were. Huh? Yes, so Baghi and Mahesh Manjrekar. So they were projects that I didn't want to let go of, you know, and they were great roles. So it was kind of a deliberate decision. Then half and half, I would say, that maybe I don't want to be doing a negative, but then I don't want to let go of the project. So I think that's where it began, and now it's deliberate. So if I want to do a negative now, I will tell people that I want to do a negative. With Chichore, if you're aware of the film Chichore by Mr. Nitesh Tiwari, Sushant is the protagonist, I'm the antagonist. So I told Mr. Nitesh Tiwari that I want to be the negative character and to put me on tape. Is how it happened. So now I make those decisions. It's not about compromising or not letting go of projects. So it's more deliberate now than before. But again, I'm like I said earlier, I'm not here to be a hero or a villain or anything. I'm here to be a good actor, and that's what I'm working on, and I will continue to work on.
Sonal